Good morning, my dear students. In the last class, viscosity part 1, I have introduced from the fluid dynamics, viscosity, surface tension, two subparts I stopped for your batches. Now, I want to continue viscosity. What is viscosity? The nature of the fluid to oppose the relative motion of the layers in flow is called as viscosity, and the force which opposes the dragging force which opposes the relative motion between the two layers of the fluid in flow is called viscous force. Viscous force. Viscous force. It was in the last class I have explained by Newton's formula. Viscous force by Newton's formula. In case of rivers and canals, the flow of fluid takes place in the form of layers. How can we decide, sir, in the form of layers means? For that, I explained the concept of during the time of floods, even very big trees can float on the surface of the water. Otherwise, for our convenience, into our nearby places, you can sit at any, that means waters of the canal, sides of the canal, and place a paper boat on the, because our children will play with paper boats. We used to play with paper boats. Make a paper boat and place it on the surface of the water. We will observe that the paper boat is able to move freely or with greater velocity on the top surface of the water. As the paper boat sink into the water, that is, if the paper boat is at the bottom, its velocity is equal to 0. Everybody will understand this simple example. Not only paper boats are during the time of floods, big trees and tube lights and all the even thatched houses, roofs of thatched houses, all these will float on the surface of the water in the floods time. If they once sink into the bottom of the river, they will not move. Reason is, bottommost layers of the water have the velocity 0 and the topmost layers of the water have the velocity maximum. So this analyzes that as we move deep into the water in the river or canal, the velocity of the fluid layer decreasing or going. This concept I have introduced in the last class as dV by dr. This is the minus side. dV by dr. This is nothing but velocity gradient. The decrease in velocity per unit separation. That means if we consider any two water layers, this water layer velocity is maximum, this water layer velocity is minimum. So maximum minus minimum is change in velocity, and the separation between the two layers is delta R. For delta R separation, delta V is the decrease in velocity. For unit separation, what is the decrease in velocity? This is called as dV by dr, velocity gradient. X is equal to dV by dr. And dragging force by various experimental analysis by Isaac Newton, this viscous force or the dragging force between the adjacent layers is proportional to the area of cross section of each layer in contact with the neighboring layer, and also directly proportional to minus dV by dr. That is, negative sign represents that the dragging force is or the viscous force is opposite to the direction of relative velocity of the layers. Therefore, the dragging force is directly proportional to area of cross section of the layer and also directly proportional to negative gradient of the velocity or negative velocity gradient. from this to FV is proportional to minus A dV by dr, and proportionality is replaced by a constant of coefficient of viscosity eta minus eta A dV by dr minus eta A dV by dr. This is the formula in the part 1 I have introduced for the dragging force or viscous force that exists between the two adjacent layers of the fluid in flow. This is the fluid in flow case. General concept it is I have taken from the flow of water in the rivers and the canals. Okay, right? This is the Newton's formula where eta is called coefficient of viscosity. Eta is called coefficient of viscosity. This is nothing but nature of the fluid. If this coefficient instead of water in the river flow, instead of water, if we assume honey or castor oil, then the flow rate will be decreases. Flow rate will decreases means here viscous force is more. That's why viscous force also increases with increasing the coefficient of viscosity. Where coefficient of viscosity is nothing but nature of the fluid. Nature of fluid. And the units for coefficient of viscosity Poise in CGS system. In CGS system Poise. In MKS system Poisson. In MKS system Poisson. This is the points we discussed in the last class. One Poisson is equal to from this formula eta is equal to FV by AdV by dr. Eta is equal to FV by A dV by dr. Newton divided by meter square into velocity units. Meter second inverse divided by meter cancel. So meter cancel. Meter second inverse. Efficiency eta is equal to F by A dV by dr. Newton divided by meter square into velocity is equal to meter second inverse divided by dr separation meter, that is equal to Newton second by meter square. This is only Poisson. So the SI unit of coefficient of viscosity is Poisson. One Poisson is equal to 1 Newton second by meter square. That is equal to how many points question? Units level question. One Poisson is equal to how many points? Derivation I am taking. One Poisson is equal to here SI unit that is. So from this formula eta is equal to FV by A dV by dr. Newton by meter square into again velocity meter second inverse divided by dr, separation between layers, meters cancel. So Newton second by meter square is the unit of SI unit of coefficient of viscosity. That is only one Poisson. So one Poisson is equal to 1 Newton second per meter square, that is equal to 10 to the power of 5 dyne, because 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power of 5 dyne second divided by 1 meter square is equal to 10 to the power of 4 centimeter square. 10 to the power of 4 centimeter square. Therefore 10 to the power of 5 by 10 to the power of 4, that is 10. Therefore 10 into dyne second per centimeter square. Newton second per meter square is the SI unit, Poisson. Dyne second per centimeter square is the CGS unit, Poisson. That is equal to Poisson. 1 Poisson is equal to 10 Poisson. So, in the examination point of view, in problems they will use the unit to points means we have to convert into points only to get the answers in SI system. So that's why I explained this unit conversion also. So once again, Newton's formula for viscous force F is equal to minus eta A dV by dr, one completed, and coefficient of viscosity units SI system Poisson, CGS system Poisson. One Poisson is equal to how many points? 10 points. Proof. Next, Stokes law. Stokes law. In case of a spherical shaped body, in case of a spherical shaped body moving with the velocity v in a fluid, moving with just speed v in a fluid, this spherical shaped body will experience some viscous force. No need of spherical shaped bodies are in villages. Every person knows the swimming. They will jump into the river water or canal water. They will swim. While we are swimming in one direction, we feel water will push our body in the opposite direction because of viscous force only. So, a person swimming in the river, a person swimming in the water can experience some viscous force. In which direction? Opposite to the direction of swimming. Opposite to the direction of swimming. Here, Stokes, one of the scientists, given that viscous force formula for spherical shaped body, because everybody feels viscous force or opposition, friction against to the swimming in the river or canal waters. So, that viscous force for spherical shaped body given by Stokes as Fv is equal to 6 pi eta Rv. 6 pi eta Rv. For this proof also I have explained in the last part. Now I am continuing the syllabus. I don't want to give proof for this one because already dimensional proof neatly I explained in the viscosity part 1. That's why. So Stokes formula or Stokes law gives that the viscous force experienced by spherical shaped body when it is moving in a fluid of coefficient of viscosity eta is given by Fv is equal to 6 pi eta Rv. 6 pi eta Rv. Now, applying the Stokes law, I will get the formula for terminal velocity today class. Terminal velocity. Terminal velocity Vt I am representing. What is a terminal velocity? For example, a spherical shaped body, when a spherical shaped body freely falls into the fluid. It may be liquid or air. Means here raindrop in air falling case, that is also terminal velocity valid. And in liquid a ball is dropped, that there also this terminal velocity concept valid. Then the maximum velocity attained by the body, when a spherical shaped body freely falls into the fluid, the maximum velocity at which net force is equal to zero. Then the velocity is said to be terminal velocity. The velocity is said to be terminal velocity. Terminal velocity. Better to enter this type of definition without confusion. So terminal velocity means, for example, raindrop falls freely into the air. After attaining terminal velocity, what is the condition? Why at terminal velocity net force is equal to 0? What is the reason? Now I will explain that one. Once again, when a spherical shaped body freely falls into the fluid, the maximum velocity at which net force is equal to 0, then the velocity is said to be terminal velocity. Now, explanation for that concept. Here, free body diagram. It may be raindrop falling in air, or it may be a ball, that means a cork ball or radium ball dropped in water in the river, stationary water, for example. So, first the body will experience how many types of forces we have to observe. One is a gravitational force, that is mg, vertically downward. Earth pulls the ball vertically downward direction. That's why raindrop also falling downward, ball also falling downward. All modern problems, same concept. Weight downward direction. Next one, buoyancy force. You know that one perfectly. You learn in the fluid statics, Archimedes principle. Buoyancy force is equal to weight of the fluid displaced, mLg. Buoyancy force is equal to weight of the fluid displaced. Second formula. And as the body is dropped in fluid in a liquid, means raindrop falling in the liquid in the air or ball falling in the liquid, in all these cases viscous force comes into play against the motion of the body. If the spherical shaped body moving in one direction, viscous force is opposite to the relative motion. We are swimming in one direction, viscous force is opposite to the swimming direction of swimming. Similarly, here ball falling in the fluid vertically downward means its weight downward direction, velocity downward direction, but viscous force is against to the direction of velocity. This is viscous force. And from the Stokes law, this viscous force is directly proportional to velocity. Fv is proportional to v. Why? Because Fv is equal to 6 pi eta Rv. In the part 1 viscosity, part 1 proof I have given dimensional verification. So without confusion. So viscous force experienced by the spherical shaped body increases with increasing the velocity. So as in case of freely falling body, net force is vertically downward direction. F net is equal to mg. Downward forces are positive, upward forces are negative. I am taking here. Forces are vector quantity, downward forces are positive, upward forces are negative. mg is greater than that of upward forces, then only raindrop will fall vertically downward. Ball is moving vertically downward direction, means downward forces dominates the upward direction forces. So net force is downward direction. mg minus fb minus fp is the f net. So f net is equal to ma, that is equal to mg minus fb minus fv. So because of the body falls freely means it will accelerate in the initial